Dracula wishes to reclaim my city. You call yourselves New York's guardians. Now is the time to prove it. Stay alert. This fight isn't over yet.
The hunt is on.
Those monsters look hungry. Time to see if you're the hero you say, or just another snack. These enemies won't quit, but neither will you, it seems. A hero at their peak. I hate to admit it, but I'm impressed. Vacation's over. Back to work. Hope you've still got some heroism left in you. Take a moment and enjoy the peace. It won't last for long. Fascinating. Now, who's the real monster? More vampires have arrived. Ready yourself for battle. And don't you dare let Mark get you down.
Behind us.
Congratulations on surviving another round. Let's hope your luck continues to hold. A hero at their peak. I hate to admit it, but I'm impressed. Another wave incoming. Hold the line. Take a moment and enjoy the peace. It won't last for long. Fascinating. Now, who's the real monster? More vampires have arrived.
Run while you still can.
There, let monsters take it down.
I shall feast on your
Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender.
Run while you still can. I shall feast on your
Another less
bones.
than noble sacrifice. Vigilantes never surrender.
Run while you still can.
Chase cold steel.
I shall feast on your
Another less than noble sacrifice.
fools.
These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender.
Ancestral sword. Strike.
Another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble sacrifice.
While you still can. I shall feast on your bones.
Never surrender. These vigilantes
Thank you,
never surrender.
my friends.
Once again, the Vampire King is defeated, and the darkness has been banished. But is this really the end of the story? Dracula wishes to reclaim my city. You call yourselves New York's guardians. Now is the time to prove it.
You just made the only smart choice.
Take a moment and
Let's do
enjoy
some
the
bits already.
peace. It won't last for long. A hero at their peak. I hate to admit it, but I'm impressed. Vacation's over. Back to work. Hope you've still got some heroism left in you. Another less than noble. These vigilantes never surrender.
Ancestral sword! Strike! Slice and dice! Ancestral sword! Strike! Taste cold steel!
Stay alert. This fight isn't over yet. Fascinating. Now, who's the real monster? Another wave incoming. Hold the line.
Taste cold steel!
Another less than normal sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender.
Taste cold steel! Ancestral sword! Strike! Ancestral sword! Strike!
Congratulations on surviving another round. Let's hope your luck continues to hold. Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. More vampires have arrived. Ready yourself for battle. And don't you dare let my city down.
Ancestral sword! Strike!
Another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble sacrifice. than noble, another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender. Strike! Gear up. These enemies won't quit, but neither will you, it seems. A hero at their peak. I hate to admit it, but I'm impressed.
Ancestral sword! Strike!
Another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice.
Open season!
These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender.
Ancestral sword! Strike!
Stay alert. This fight isn't over yet. Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. More vampires have arrived.
Breathe now, before I devour you.
Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender.
I shall feast on your
Another
bones.
less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble sacrifice.
Ancestral sword! Strike!
These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice.
Slice and dice!
Never!
These surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender.
I shall feast on your bones!
These vigilantes another less than noble sacrifice.
Strike!
Never!
These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble. Another less than noble sacrifice.
While you still can.
Just as I expected. I can't rely on self-righteous vigilantes. I'll have to handle this myself. Dracula wishes to reclaim my city. You call yourselves New York's guardians. Now is the time to prove it.
You just made the only smart choice.
Stay alert.
Let's
This
get
fight
things
isn't over yet.
Hell yeah.
Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. Vacation's over. Back to work. But you've still got some heroism left in you.
Ancestral sword! Strike! Congratulations on surviving another round. Let's hope your luck continues to hold. Fascinating. Now, who's the real monster? More vampires have arrived. Ready yourself for battle. There's that monster sitting down. Ancestral sword! Strike!
Take a moment and enjoy the peace. It won't last for long. Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. Those monsters look hungry. Time to see if you're the hero you say, or just another snack.
Ancestral sword! Strike!
Ancestral sword! Strike! Gear up. These enemies won't quit, but neither will you, it seems. Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. Another wave incoming! Hold the line! Ancestral sword! Strike! I'm cutting in! Congratulations on surviving another round. Let's hope your luck continues to hold. Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. I knew you wouldn't give up easily. But now it's time to see if you're truly worthy. Impressive! But I will find a way to break you. Fire! I'm in control here! Very much like the moon haunts you! Another less than impressive! But I will find a way to break you!
Before I devour
Sacred strike! I am the law!
I shall feast on your bones!
I'm cutting in!
Thank you, my
Victory! The New Yorkers will always remember who truly gave them everything. Their mayor. Dracula wishes to reclaim my city. You call yourselves New York's guardians. Now is the time to prove it.
You just made the only smart choice.
Take a moment and enjoy the
What are you
peace.
waiting for?
It won't last for
When it
long.
comes to vamps,
A hero at
I'm
their
the man.
peak. I hate to admit it, but I'm impressed. Those monsters look lovely. I'm to see if you're the hero you say, or just another snack. Leave them to Ancestral Sword! Strike! Stay alert. This fight isn't over yet. Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. Another wave incoming. Hold the line. Won't quit, but neither will you, it seems. Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. More vampires have arrived. Ready yourself for battle. Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice. Congratulations on surviving another round. Let's hope your luck continues to hold. Vacation's over. Back to work. Hope you've still got some heroism left in you. Another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble. Another less than noble sacrifice. These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. Another less than noble sacrifice. Another less than noble. These vigilantes never surrender. These vigilantes never surrender. Congratulations on surviving another round. Let's hope your luck continues to hold. Such remarkable power. I hope you put it to good use for once. More vampires have arrived. Ready yourself for battle. And don't just dare let Marty get you down. Once again, the Vampire King is defeated, and the darkness has been banished. But is this really the end of the story?
XOXO01 still standing here in the playoff bracket among names like Zero Tenacity, like Reject, and like Pirates. So definitely ones to be feared here. You can't rule them out, playing out of the 5th seed from the group stage. But we are ready to rock here. Hell's Heaven up first for some domination action. And of course, up first, your dual Gambit bans. So no Gambit on the table. EXO, though, will take Mantis into this matchup here. Gonna see a lot of those same notes in these first few bans. It's really the back half of the drafts here that have been where the changes come through.
But the changes come through, and we'll pull through in to the beginning there. Stock standard, going to see the Gambits taken away, and Mantis will be protected this time around. So far, so good. Could see the double-sided Elsa ban as well, and now is the moment where the changes will start to shine in. We see focus over the Daredevil, we see focus over the Invis or Ultron. It's up to the players now to lock it down.
Yeah, complete push here so far, but again, this is where you'll start to see some deviations, and there's plenty on the table to deviate here. Invis hover for EXO, and they'll lock that in. Loki ban coming through for Zero Tenacity, so no God of Mischief on the table for EXO, but I imagine they'll be up to some other kinds of mischief here, no doubt, as Z10 taking that one-sided Loki to bear here. One more ban for Zero Tenacity, looking at the Ultron potentially, so no Strange ban. Vanpool on the table for Zero Tenacity as well. Walking away with plenty here as EXO taking Invis for their last save.
Yeah, so they'll be able to exchange those strategist picks there. Eager to see if we have a bit of a Cloaky combination into this one, considering that they will have access to the Loki on the Z10 side here, and going to be curious what else will be matched with here as XD looks to lock in their Old Faithful, tried and tested on the Sidelock. Alone feels looking to match that energy all the same. So it's It's a mirror matchup almost on both sides. There are some little changes though. You know, you've got the White Fox for Beza there and the Invis on Ace. So curious which side will be able to find that initial presence as we dive deep into the map. But before everybody else gets to dive in with us, Diatonic, they get to enjoy some of the beautiful classic landscapes.
Yeah, plenty to look at here in the Hydra Charteris base, of course, as we load into this matchup. You bring up an interesting point with Cloaky, right? You know, it's a pretty powerful combination considering Cloak and Dagger usually very safe in these drafts. It's always Loki that ends up being the one that gets the ban, unfortunately. So, you know, if you're able to find a way to make that Loki safe, we don't see a lot of teams banning in response to the C&D. So if you're able to come out the other side with Loki on the table, it feels like you can pretty much bring the Cloaky if you so choose. And of course, that matchup with Pirates and Reject, definitely a lot of momentum for those back-to-back Eternal Bonds here, but no Cloaky in the side here. We are ready. New series underway. Zero Tenacity, XOXO01 elimination match, and the winner will go to the lower bracket finals.
All on to this, and the games have begun. Mission area on the unlock within moments here. And let's see if anyone's going to be able to lock it down in the neutral. Wendy in big trouble. Does luckily manage to evacuate from that nasty situation, but Zatha might not be so lucky in a second. Already building up closely to the Banhammer, though. That could be a good start. Nexi going down is a good way to kick off here for XO. Banhammer coming down, and they're already coming in swinging.
Yeah, definitely one player you want to see. Oh no, he dropped him right into the pit of doom alone, picking up the Wolverine and picking up right where he's left off in the past. Absolutely insane kidnap to start things off, and EXO got some teeth here. They'll take that first capture and already off to the races here. What a start.
What a start as they try and rip it apart, and EXO are going to be good so far. Will Z10 be able to match them around the corner, though? That's going to be proven. A big feral leap from Alone Feels there. Collects Jerry and looks to do more where that came from. So they take it slow and steady onto this. And XO, they're going to be in a comfortable position right now on the edge of a ton of ultimates. And their percentage is rising by the moment.
I was going to say, really starting to build themselves a cushion here, and quite a surprise start for this Zero Tenacity team on the back foot here. And been seeing a lot of Logan here tonight. Big plays in the last series, and now already Alone Feels on the Wolverine. Gonna look for another dive there, just barely misses, but trying to slice and dice through. Marvel on the Venom there, won't complete the KO here, but does force him to back down, and EXO able to protect their turf even more. Rester chasing down Wendy there onto the Mantis. Banhammer onto him to try and stop him dead in his tracks here as EXO, they got the ults here. Do they have the talent? That they do. Zatha on the Vanpool will find Bicer there on the critical as well, and take that selfie. Get yourself that XP boost as Ace moving on the Invisible Woman as well. One more KO. EXO 75% of the way captured, and so far Zero Tenacity do not have an answer for him.
No answers at the moment, maybe lost in the mail, but it could be returned to sender in a second. So they take it slow and steady. EXO building up closely towards the edge of the line here. Z10 do have at least a few ults at their disposal that they can utilize to try and swing things back. XE playing from a distance is big as well. Here we go. It's Jeff coming out here. Beza trying their best to play into the Kumiho Unleashed. Will shut down Resta, so already a solid start, taking down some of their strategist lineup here, and looking to further that pursuit as well. XE once again locking down the damage for days. Does get victimized by the last stand there, but they will survive through it. So going to be a solid focus from their team, and we'll be able to steam ahead in the KO department. XE is unstoppable.
Yeah, game changer here on point number one for Zero Tenacity, playing it miles back, able to just shake the screen over and over again. Those spark procs coming in clutch as EXO pretty grouped up there, so maybe gonna look to space themselves out and play a little bit more of a fan out type push forward here. A lot of their ults though did get used up. Of course, Zatha walking back from spawn, reset the Deadpool ult, but they're ready for another fight here, and Soko on the move on the Vanpool. This time, both Vanpools getting some action in here, but it's Z10 taking the 2-for-1, favoring themselves. They're making a 3-for-1 as Jerry on the Lawyer of Hell's Kitchen there. Mad Murdoch moving different here. Soko as well on the Deadpool, and add one more to the photo album there as Zero Tenacity coming back big.
In a big, big way, they sway things into action. Gonna be happy with that, and Z10 have plenty of ults to keep control over the mission area here as well. Can look this well ahead of it. Feast of the Abyss coming out to further their pursuit, and they will find a double KOs on to the strategists and rip apart everybody in their path. Taking a selfie with the maid pool costume as well. You'll love to see it, don't you?
Yeah, every single time. And every single time he gets those selfies snapped, a big XP boost. So Soko already building up that Deadpool super quick here on point number 1. But there's a problem here. Sungjuk Woo on the point, on the Venom. Nobody from Zero Tenacity inside. It's a race back to the point, but EXO will sneak it here. They make the flip. Overtime already in effect. Jerry having to let the devil out here on the Daredevil to try and turn the tide back their way. But what a play from Sungjuk Woo here to get EXO right back in the fight, but Jerry gonna look to clip their wings here. The Wendy will go down, the Jeff offline here, and now 27 A's on the Jeff here, finding the ult, finding just one here, and will back it off. But Z10 body disadvantage for them as EXO planting firm on the point one last time. They just need a little bit of a push to clear off this last second here, but even if Z10 are able to turn it around, it is not game over for them on checkpoint number 1. Sungjuk Woo gonna look to make a meal out of Z10, going for that Feast of the Abyss, but it's Marvel that's feasting here, finding one in the neutral and keeping it going here. Big dive onto the rest of EXO here as they are pushed back. Z10 back in control of the point just as quickly as you thought they were ruled out. They are right back in here, and Soko and Marvel delivering the hurt.
The pain is being inflicted over and over again as Z10 lock back in just when you think EXO take it back. Nah. Z10 are back to play here and look to hold on firmly to this mission area, and they do have that Feast of the Abyss ready and waiting if needed. Alonefield's bringing out the dance of the Cutterfly. The back line is being sliced and diced here. EXO back on track. Feast of the Abyss being committed to this one to try and keep the fight going. Flown to this one. Phaser bringing out the Strange as well. It's time to get that portal online. Wendy bringing us out the It's Jeff as well. See if they can create a bit of space here. Jerry goes down, but they will be able to stay in the fight. Portal up, and Wendy takes 2 strategists.
They walk through the portal right into the arms of EXO, right into the meat grinder here, but it's a 2-for-2, holding the invisible boundary here. Time taken away. Sungjuk Woo finds one at the end, but EXO will wrestle it away. What a tug of war. Double 99 overtime, and that's just point number 1.
Oh my days, Super Soldier Factory is online for EXO. They didn't come here to mess around, they came here to play, and they will be able to gain that early control in their favor, keeping Z10 on their toes right now. Can you believe this? Z10 need to lock back in and quickly heading towards this second capture point here. Let's see if they can make it work. EXO, they already got the boundary advantage there and can further that with a Soul Resurgence around the corner, so early control could go into their favor unless Z10 can catch them in the neutral here.
I was going to say, interesting that EXO taking the Super Soldier Factory, because the whole team already looking like Super Soldiers out there, playing through the adversity there. It felt like it had slipped away from them for a moment, but they battle right back in. Again, that stealth retake from Sungjuk Woo, definitely rattling their cage a little bit, but Zero Tenacity, of course, a powerful team in their own right. They are here for a reason, and they are here to play this game all the way out. They're going to have to take both capture points here, but EXO not going to give them even a chance to breathe here. Alone goes over to the Psylocke and already paying dividends here. Ace will find one on the Invis as well. Zero Tenacity caught off guard here. The strategist offline, and it'll be EXO's point to take.
Their time to play once again. They gain that early control and will stroll ahead of it. So going to be happy to get that early motion that they need. Jerry ready to let the devil out if required as well. Exy around the corner here. Z10 need to find the best path forward, going around the side of the mission area. Jerry was looking to activate there, get shut down before they can log in. Vanhammer coming down from Zeta as well, doing the best they can here, but one by one as Z10 are getting unraveled here. EXO are just blowing it all together and building up all that more percentage while they're at it.
Yeah, I mean, it feels a bit shaky, a bit risky for EXO, but they continue to initiate as soon as possible, trying to keep that pressure on and keep Zero Tenacity off balance so they can continue to win the fights like this. Here we go, Sungjuk Woo going for a Feast of the Abyss here. Will get a little bit of damage down down, but no KOs coming out of that one. Exy got an Dance of the Butterflies here. Jerry gonna let the devil out, but the only devil here is Zaytha on that Deadpool, finding another KO for EXO here. 50% of the way captured for them, and there is no end in sight to this onslaught from EXO. EXO 0-1 here. Alone's got a Dance of the Butterflies ready as well. Gotta watch out though. Shark in the water for Zero Tenacity as that hits Jeff is ready to go here, but it's Exy on the Psylocke will find Zaytha, and now a comeback here. A bright spot for Zero Tenacity. That Dance of the Butterfly from Alone, unfortunately, no value out of that one, and Z10 are going to look to try and take here.
Try and take it as confidently as they can. Good stall coming out from the Sungjok Woo, though. Will stall it out to get them towards 79% and not going to be able to get to 80, but at least Z10 have a little bit more flexibility here. They can gain their own control, close the gap, but if EXO takes it, it's going to be not that much distance to cover here. So Z10 have to really focus up and keep that control as long as they can. And speaking of, is the Abyss trying to get activated, but it gets cancelled there. Marvel not going to be able to do anything. Beza good with the Kumio Unleashed. A boundary coming up. It's Jeff as well, trying to shut down Exy. They will be able to catch them. We're going to take away straight into the spawn. Oh no! Truth 7 Days is here with the plays.
Walks them right back to home base and shuts them down here. Now they're going to look to try and capitalize, make the retake here. Soko's got the Banhammer up and running here. They are going to try to fend off EXO, but as a couple members walking it back here, going to be a tough 4v6. Not to fear for too long, though. Z10 is here in full force and in the water. Windy there on the Jeff. Going to look for the ultimate there. Sungjok Woo, though, finding Jerry, the Daredevil Sin, all the way back to square one. Marvel, of course, going to look to make him a meal here. Goes for the Feast of the Abyss. Cannot quite make it happen, though, and great timing on that symbiotic resilience from Sungjok Woo, able to stay alive here and in the fight with the rest of the team. Rester goes for finds one KO onto the Deadpool here. Finally, Exy got the Dance of the Butterflies online, ready to go here, looking for that all-important zoning, but Zaytha's got Baser's number here, sending the White Fox back, and they will follow up on it. Alone gonna take one. Exy tries to battle back here, but it's a double KO for EXO Psylocke here. They will make the retake, but Zero Tenacity do take the lead by a couple percent.
Will take the lead just by a little, lost it just as quick as it is gained there. So EXO are going to be on the floor ready to go for more into this, and they have the ult advantage and the percentage advantage in their favor. Z10 need to find KOs in the neutral here to shut down any potential, but already Alone feels ready with the Dance of the Butterfly. Ace goes down first, though. That's a good response from Z10, and Soko is locking in here. Finds the double, looking to catch more as well. Zaytha in big trouble. Exy's good for it, 2 for 2. Z10 are pulling through into this one and looking to clean them out one after the other. OD now diminished. Z10 are back.
Yeah, back in the driver's seat one more time here, and Soko bouncing on the heads of EXO like it's nobody's business there on the Vanpool, and it is yet again going to be a race to the finish, but they're going to be down one. Alone sniped out by a baser in the back rooms here, and going to look for even more KOs on the White Fox here. Jeff Alt coming out from the side of EXO now. It's Jeff here looking to find some kind of snack from Zero Tenacity. Don't know if they actually found anything, but Exy finds Zaytha here into the clutch. Overtime starting to tick down there, making a double KO for the Psylocke on the side of Zero Tenacity. Marvel gonna put even more pressure on him with that Feast of the Abyss. Double KO for the White Fox. It's a double-double, and it's Z10 taking them all the way to point 3.
Oh yeah, Mr. Diatonic, we got a game on our hands again. Woohoo! We love it, everybody, and we are going to the third and final capture point here on Hell's Heaven, the frozen airfield. It ain't frozen anymore, it's defrosted, because this game is heat.
I was gonna say flames everywhere here from both sides of the board. They are hungry to stay alive. Again, this is an elimination match, and they are playing like it here. No holds barred so far by either side. But again, another race to the finish that could go anybody's way there on point 2. So it's a dead even heat here between both of these teams. Heading into checkpoint number 3, Zero Tenacity, they've got one ult on a line. That's the Jeff ultimate, but a Dance of the Butterflies and a Kumiho Unleashed unleashed, not too far behind. EXO won't have anything right out of the gate, though. Ace should get that invisible boundary charged up pretty quickly there, so maybe going to be a bit of a push here as they get ready to fight for the final checkpoint here on map 1.
Ready to push and see which enemies you can pull away from this one as they take us to the high ground. Z10 got the vision locked in as well. Jerry ready and waiting for the flank here, and it looks to play around their fellow Venom player. Won't be able to lock it in as yet, though. Immediately countered. A good boundary from Ace there, now forcing the activation of the Kumiho Unleashed from Beza. And cleaned out immediately. Good with the Cutterfly coming out from XE. Marvel playing straight into it. Triple into quad KO across the board there. That's one way to sweep the board, my man, and they are feeling good about that.
Yeah, not even a Feast of the Abyss either, a Feast of the neutral game for Marvel there. Triple KO, and it's huge here for Zero Tenacity. They will take checkpoint, or they'll take the first point here, the first capture, that is. A couple of bright spots for EXO in that fight. A big sleep for Rester, unfortunately just not able to capitalize on it here, so gotta pull their heads together here and play as a team if they want to take down Z10 here on Hell's Heaven. But already out the gate here, Soko kneecapping EXO as their Invisible Woman off a line here alone. Gonna even the odds here. They'll find Jerry 1% off from letting that devil out, and he'll go overhead for the Insong Inferno. Comes down, no KOs off of that one, but at least enough pressure here to try and give EXO an opportunity to reposition themselves and try to sink their teeth into this next point.
They are going to be chewing us straight into it right now. My goodness. EXO trying to push in. It's double feasts right now. Everybody's dining into this one, but Jerry going to take the first bite there. Ace goes down and will be brought back by the Cocoon though, but Sungjok Woo going to be taking it back in motion. The Devil coming out as well. Jerry not playing around into this one, trying their best to string that damage together. Zeta barely holding on. Will, luckily for them, stay into the fight, but Ace not so lucky this time, and they're going player for player here, but it's C10 taking control.
Yeah, absolutely wresting every ounce of control away from EXO and keeping the hurt on alone. Forced to back up out of that corridor there, but he will find a double KO there. Takes Marvel as the second one, but XE and Soko right back in that KO feed, putting Zero Tenacity right back in that driver's seat one more time here. Quickly approaching the end of this map here is Zero Tenacity. They've got a couple ults to show for it as well. Meanwhile, EXO stuck playing out the neutral game, and you know that Cutterfly from XE gonna come in a massive here. Dance of the butterflies. Meanwhile, on the point, though, Zeta dancing around on the Deadpool. They don't have any idea he's there, but finally they'll get it to OT. EXO trying to run it back to the point here, but I don't think they can make it.
Oh, it's gonna be so close, but they will get there in the end. Somehow, some way, they're right on the edge of the knife here, but not long enough. XE delivers the KO blow, and that, everybody, is gonna be Z10 taking Hell's Heaven.
Well, definitely a bit of a slip and slide there for Z10. Maybe not the way they were expecting this series to start out, but they take the map win here in the end. I thought Sungjok Woo saved that team again. Definitely bought him a second or two, but the rest of the team just a bit too far behind to catch up there. And it is XE getting yet another MVP, one in a pile of many for him there on the Psylocke. Z10 definitely fighting back there after a bit of a rough start, and the scoreboard does not lie either. 30s down the line for this squad. 18 final hits off of 39 eliminations for XE, who will take the most damage in the match as well. Insane turnaround for Z10, and that shows you why. Definitely number 2 seed coming out of the group stage.
Looking strong, looking good into this one, and the hard work has only just begun here. EXO are taking it to them, my man. Everybody is locked in and taking it serious as ever. Just look at these replays right now. All the best plays coming through there and doing the very best they can. What a blessed game we've started off with.
Yeah, and props to our replay ops, because how do you pick what plays to put in this montage? So many from both sides of the board. KO after KO. These teams went to war here, and it is just the start of the series. Map number 1. It's going to go Z10's way, but what a close one there. A double 99 overtime on point 2. So EXO almost could have closed this thing out uncontested, but Z10 ekes them out here and will walk away with Hell's Heaven. I have a feeling this is going to be another long series ahead of us.
Oh, well, I'm ready to go all the way, Diatonic. I want to see all 5 maps. Come on, let's do it. We'll see if they make that reality into action here, whether that's going to be the time stream we end up on. But for now, we're going to take a break on a little bit of another time stream while we get our second map set up. Everybody, don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Dracula wishes to reclaim my city. You call yourselves New York's guardians. Now is the time to prove it.
Thank you very much. Slice and dice. Ancestral sword. Strike! A gift from touch. Taste cold steel. Time to make the undead dead again. Curse thee, vile creature!
Well done. Perhaps I'll give you the key to the city after this.
I shall feast on your bones!
Ratatosker? What did Dracula do to you? You've got to fight, girl!
You truly believe yourself my equal? Pathetic. You have my thanks, but your vigilante antics have violated the law. You're under arrest. Never falls!
Oh, Geldo,
Well, I hope you're ready here. Zero Tenacity and XOXO01 facing off and gave us a heater there of map 1 on Hell's Heaven. So, again, I think we are looking at we didn't get the 5 maps on the last series, so maybe this one will go all the way.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it there this time. Be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And it looks like we are getting into another map. It's Yggdrasil Path, the next one on rotation here. You'll love to see the old Classico.
I was gonna say, we saw a lot of Yggdrasil Path through a lot of Ignite last year. I haven't seen it as much this season so far. Definitely pros very comfortable with this map. A lot of teams kind of solved this one here, and you just don't see it pop up too much. I was expecting Museum of Contemplation, personally.
Yeah, no museum this time. Maybe later into the series if we get there. Maybe we'll go back to the museum. For now, we're gonna have a night off the museum. So, lucky us. Oh, I'm thankful. We've seen too much museum. It's time to go to another landscape.
Very true. It's nice to have the change up, and I'm curious to see how this progresses here, right? We expected Zero Tenacity right out of the gate, take no prisoners, and it was definitely an uphill battle for both teams on Hell's Heaven. EXO right out the gate, they take the first point, they get to a double 99 overtime on the second. Zero Ten's able to just barely squeak by there, and then third point, they definitely looked better, a lot more comfortable and confident on that one. So, not exactly the close race we were expecting between these two, at least to start out. So, EXO definitely making themselves a credible threat here.
yeah, really showcasing their strengths into this one and their adaptability to their opponents, you know, whatever they throw at them. Even when XO made them look a lot more mortal after taking that capture point there, Z10 managed to lock it back in, regain their focus, and managed to take the train all the way back home. So, going to be a great way to get control of the series from the early stages here, but eager to see how things shift heading into the second map here. You know, whether Yggdrasil Path is where XO finds their strengths once again, their time to shine. Maybe they look to bring out the infamous Spider-Man.
Yeah, we have not seen it yet, and you know, something we have seen from EXO a lot tonight are these interesting kind of role swaps. You know, last match you saw Sungjuk Woo on the Venom from start to finish on Hell's Heaven. Maybe not what you were expecting to see, but again, you know, at least for myself, I consider these guys to be the loose cannons here in the Asia region. You have no idea what they're going to throw at you, so some role swaps here to try and kind of pull the rug out from under your opponents. And you know, I heard CB and Liger talking about it, and you know, it's very difficult to try and adapt to because, you know, the opponents you may have expected to face are not on the roles you thought they would be. So I like the change-ups there. It definitely shows how versatile and experienced those guys are over there on that EXO squad. But we are ready. Convoy here. Yggdrasil Path is the next location. Gambit, the first one taken off the board, of course. Invis save from EXO to start things off, so they definitely want to take advantage of some invisible boundaries this run.
Yeah, the boundaries are going to stay up this time, will not be taken down, but Mantis is going to be taken away from EXO nice and early, so heavy focus on the strategist lineup for Z10 at the moment. Can take a single-sided Elsa if they want. May shift directions to something else entirely, though, as they look to contemplate their next steps forward. There we go. Elsa going to be locked in. EXO, the next ban is in your court, probably going to match the Mantis.
Yeah, I mean, if Elsa is on the table for Zero Tenacity, for Xe specifically, you know they gotta take it here. Absolutely deadly on the Monster Hunter. So a big plus here into this second map draft for Z10. And Matsu, you got some psychic powers over there. Definitely called the Mantis Mirror to be sure. And I have no doubt Z10 gonna want to take that Elsa one-sided here. Exo gonna ban out the Ultron, so gonna look to take away some more of those damage boost options there, because you do not want all that damage amplification to funnel into that Elsa. She is raid boss enough as is.
Yeah, trying to diminish those returns as much as possible there. We'll be looking to match the Invis for Invis, though, on the Protector line here. No Elsa for EXO, however. They can look to play into the Daredevil, but they're thinking about taking away either the Fox or the Estrange there. Looks like they will be able to minimize the Fox because they realize how key and critical that is to the Z10 lineup here. So taking that away from Beza could harm them a little bit. One more ban for Z10 now.
Yeah, very interesting. You don't see White Fox get hit too much in these drafts, but yeah, I think definitely targeted Baser's direction here and maybe going to look to return a little bit of fire here. They're going to save that Strange for themselves. They did not have access last time. They don't want to lose those portal recontests. They do not want to lose that team up as well, because they basically save the Invis Strange team up for themselves here. Of course, you know, the big kind of white hot spot over on the side of Z10's draft being that Elsa Bloodstone. Xy's already got it locked in here, as you can see. So we're going to be seeing a lot of that Monster Hunter and a lot of the Monster Piercer here on Yggdrasil Path. But draft complete here. EXO definitely saved themselves some things. I like where they're going here. I think, you know, that bringing the Doctor Strange team up, not a bad option. They got access to the portals here, but maybe I was wrong, because Xe last second swap over to the Wolverine potentially.
I'm liking what I'm seeing there, and having the single-sided Groot as well certainly can strengthen them on their defensive and also attacking side there. So curious to see how they will approach this one. And it looks like Sungjuk Woo is taking focus at exactly what I thought they might look at on this map, and that is Spider-Man. Whether they lock it in the long term, though, we'll see how that plays out. I don't know if Resta's going to stick it out on the Rocket either here. You know, maybe playing for the earlier shielding here and then look to play into something further. But it's the Primal Flame coming out from EXO that could be exactly what they need. They've got that Penny team up as well in the early stage. Could be a portal play early, but not quite yet.
Yeah, and you know, normally for a lot of other players holding on to Spider-Man in the spawn room, I would say, yeah, that's going to be a swap. But with Sunjuk Woo, potentially one of the linchpins of this team, no dice here though, sticking to the Vanguards for now, as he's going to come in on the Captain America, and Zatha going to come in big, one pick onto Jerry. So Elsa sent all the way across the map, back to spawn here. Very solid opening salvo here from EXO, and they are just going to run it right down the lane. Pressure, pressure, pressure here for this EXO team. Wolverine dive onto the Zatha, but a quick hop from the Strange and gonna try to get himself out of there.
Get themselves out of there and to be able to race their way forward just a little bit more. EXO trying their best to claw their way through. Exy ready to collect them. Feral Lever puts them in a heap there, but not going to be able to sweep up the KO. The damage still looking to build up slowly but steadily here. Lone Pill's in a bit of trouble, maybe taken out. Wendy, good for it. Damage from a distance does enable Z10's defense here, and looking to get more. Jerry takes to the floor.
Yeah, a bit of a kneecap here for EXO. Half the team offline, so gonna be stopped here for now. 1:15 off the clock for them. Still enough time for them to get back up and get back into the fight, of course. But Zero Tenacity trying to build a little bit of rhythm here and disrupt what EXO is going for. They've got a couple of strategist ults online, so maybe they can commit to a neutral fight here, but they just don't have anything in the tank damage output-wise. So gonna have to see where EXO decides to try and get into the fight here. They are staring down a Strangling Prison from Marvel, of course. And Zero Tenacity in control of the cart for now. EXO will flip it right back their way. So no way in for EXO quite yet here.
Yeah, no openings at the moment. Marvel trying to enable the Strangling Prison there. Now almost countered. Jerry good to shut down Sunjuk Woo though, and more to follow. Dance Floor coming out from Razda, however, matched by the boundary. Gonna take it slow and steady. Zatha could bring out the Agamotto, but no, last stand. Exy, rip and tear. Jerry joining in as well. That's one way to dispel your attackers with great haste.
You know, I thought for sure it would be the Elsa here for Exy, but that last second swap over onto the Wolverine paying dividends for Z10. They win another one, and now just that quickly, EXO already down to just 1 and 30 seconds of their time here. Alone does have the last stand on and ready to go. 27 A's, of course, got the Insong Inferno.